In Jacksonville, Florida, in 1964, Lynyrd Skynyrd became iconic. Their southern rock sound delivered hits like Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird. In the 70s, they soared to fame, capturing the essence of southern culture and devoted fans. October 20th, 1977, tragedy struck when their plane crashed, claiming the lives of 6 people, including 3 members of the band, lead singer Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist Steve Gaines, and singer Cassie Gaines. Artemis Pyle, the drummer, miraculously survived. Today, he carries their legacy forward, creating new music with the Artemis Pyle Band. Join us for a live interview with Artemis Pyle as we sit down one-on-one to discuss an upcoming album release on this heartfelt anniversary. Well, welcome into Local on 2. I am thrilled and honored to introduce to you a living legend. His musical journey has shaped the rhythm of an era, the heartbeat behind Lynyrd Skynyrd's iconic sound. Artemis Pyle, thank you so much for joining us on Local on 2.
Thank you for having us, because I say us because I'm, our band. We did that album, Anthems, and we've got Dolly Parton singing Freebird, and she's amazing. But the reason I'm in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is because of Ronnie Van Zant. So that's why we wanted to do this album, to honor the music and his band. And I'm glad I'm included. But we lost Gary Rossington a few months ago. He was the last founding member. There's Gary and I at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was the last founding member of the band. And it leaves me as the last living member of Lynyrd Skynyrd. And Laura, with an A, right? Laura? Yes. It's not a good feeling. I don't, it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm the last living member. I don't brag about it. But I'm not going to change what I do, which is go out on the road with my band, get on our little tour bus, and we keep a tight ship and a clean bus, and we go everywhere playing this music. People love the band. My guys, I'd like to mention their names, Jerry Lida, Scott Rains, Brad Durden, and Dave Fowler, and myself. We're a 5, and we play Skynyrd music better than any band in the world. And everywhere we go and play the music, the energy, I drive it the way I did in the 70s, but everywhere we go, the people love our presentation because it's not pretentious. I don't dress any of the band members up like my guys up in heaven. And I don't ask them to sing like Ronnie. They are Southern boys. They're from Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina. I'm from Tennessee and Kentucky. Born in Kentucky, raised in Fentress County, Jamestown. And so they sing with a true Southern spirit. And everybody loves the way we do it. So we decided to do this album, Anthems. I see you got the graphics up.
We do.
I've never seen it that big. That's really cool. Boy, Dolly Parton pops, doesn't she?
She sure does.
And then Warren Haynes, Sammy Hagar, Lindsay Ellie. She's from up in Canada. 33 years old, great voice, and plays rock and guitar. She's on the album. Billy Ray Cyrus. Yeah. So, that's what we wanted to do, was do an album to honor Ronnie, his music, and his band.
Well, and with all of these artists joining you on this album that's going to be released tomorrow, it surely just shows Lynyrd Skynyrd's influence well beyond their era. So I want to take a step back. Did you guys, when you first joined Lynyrd Skynyrd, did you know you were creating a movement?
Well, I didn't create anything. Ronnie Van Zant had the vision and everything. And let's take 2 steps back. Our album is going to be released on February the 2nd, Groundhog's Day, 2024. Tomorrow is the 46th anniversary of the plane crash. I'm sure you're aware of that. But I just wanted to, Groundhog's Day coming up. That's my daughter's birthday. We're going to release it. Dolly is releasing her album in November. We're releasing ours in February. and we've been working on it a long time. It takes a lot when you've got all those artists together to work with their management companies, their attorneys, to get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, because we don't want to be ready to release the product and then somebody go, wait a minute, you know, we forgot to dot an I. So we're taking a long time to make sure that is correct. My band that I mentioned, we are the basic track. And Dolly was so kind to come in and sing Freebird. And she played it for me, and I cried like a little baby. I mean, the tears flowed, and it was very emotional. But that was before we lost Gary Rossington, who was the last founding member of the band. And we've got him on this album with Dolly. He's playing his iconic slide solo with Dolly on Freebird, and it just doesn't get much better than that. Dolly's vocal will just, it's so beautiful. That gigantic little voice of hers, you know, and she's such a humanitarian. So to get Gary on there, and then we lost him a few months ago, means a lot to me and the entire band.
Now, I watched your documentary, Street Survivors, and with tomorrow being the 46th anniversary of that tragic plane crash, I want to know, where were you? You said the silence started and you started thinking of survival. Walk us through that experience.
Well, excuse me, when we lost both engines, excuse me, and it was very quiet, everybody was in prayer, you know, and my friends met their deaths with honor and dignity and bravery. We knew we were going down, and it wasn't going to be good. I'm literally choked up. But I think about it every day, and there's not a day that goes by, but I just decided I didn't want to be sad about it anymore. I wanted to celebrate the music and celebrate life, because in your family and all of our families, our people would want us to live life to its fullest. Excuse me. So I'm trying to do that and celebrating the music, bringing all these great artists together, and they put their hearts and souls into those songs because it's for Ronnie, it's for Skynyrd. Yeah. They wanted to really, Sammy Hagar, the way he sings Simple Man, and of course Dolly's performance, but everybody, they had a great time doing this, and it was well worth the wait. It was well worth all the work and all the miles. You know, we played for the Vets 2 nights ago in San Antonio, Texas. And so we're on our little bus a lot. And we don't mind. We don't mind working for our money. We're not greedy. We don't ask for a lot. We like to get paid like anybody else. But as long as we can take care of our driver and keep the wheels rolling on our bus and make sure that our crew makes it worthwhile for them, if at the end of a tour or whatever we go out, you know, weekend warriors, if we got a little money to put in our pockets, none of the guys in my band need this band to make money. They are all successful businessmen. They have beautiful wives and children and homes and businesses. But they grew up, I'm 75, and they grew up with the music. Yeah. And they're like 55 and 60. They love it as much as I do. So we are a well-oiled machine, and we have a great crew and a great team. And our record company, Get Joe Records, is behind the album that I see here. And here in Nashville, you have a Nashville-based Spinning Plates that is helping us with the PR. Because, you know, no album gets out there and gets to the people by itself. You know, it has to have a team. And I know how to play drums.
You do.
I know how to run a bulldozer. I know how to fly an airplane. I know how to hammer nails. but I can't run a band. You know, I went to college at Tennessee Tech University in Cookeville. I found out that I was an idiot. Then I went to the Marine Corps for 4 years. I got out and went to Ohio State University. Still an idiot, and I didn't need to be in college. I needed to be in a band.
Yes,
So-
yes. And I've heard you say music is the language of the universe, but my favorite quote from you is that you said this band, Lynyrd Skynyrd, saved your life.
It did. Being the drummer of Lynyrd Skynyrd saved my life because, you know, everybody has ups and downs, and I've had some ups and downs like everybody else. And being the drummer of Lynyrd Skynyrd and the music and the strength that I find in it, playing it, every time I'm playing it, I'm not thinking about something else. I'm thinking about each song. I'm thinking about my members, both up here and the guys on stage with me, and all the bands that I've played with. And that includes my children, because there's 8 of us, children and grandchildren, and we all play drums. We all play together, different instruments. Singers, songwriters. My 2 sons, Chris and Marshall, they wrote music for Street Survivors, the movie. And so did my band APB, wrote a song called Street Survivors for the movie. And a gentleman here in town named Brian Mabry put together a beautiful piece of instrumental, no vocals, but it's just so powerful. So they used it all through the movie. And then a man named Lee Rittenauer out in Los Angeles, through Cleopatra Films that I did this with, a record company, he put in the kind of Game of Thrones background music that you hear throughout the movie, like every movie has, to keep that tension up. And as you saw, the movie, number 1, not for children, and number 2, very intense. There's some funny moments, there's some ridiculous moments, but there's some very sad, intense moments as well. And I've watched it, I have to watch it by myself. I can't watch it with anybody.
It's such a powerful film, and your story is even more powerful, my friend. I'm honored to share this set with you. Thank you so much for joining us on Local On 2. Sincerely, thank you for being here, my friend. This has been such an honor. Everyone, remember, the Artemis Pyle Band's new album is out in February. This is a fantastic tribute to Lynyrd Skynyrd's musical legacy. More Local On 2 right after this.